Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, the Deputy President of Samsung SDI, Kyung P, this morning addressed the first Namibia-Korea Business Forum in Windhoek, which was organized by the Namibian Investment Promotion and Development Board. It was attended by the Minister of Mines and Energy, Tom Alwindo, as well as Korea's ambassador to Namibia, Choi Kwang-jin, the president of the Korean Energy Agency, Sang-hon Lee, and the Secretary General of Korea's Bid Committee for the World Expo 2030, Yong San-jik. Algeta Greg reports.
Our cylindrical battery for power tool are well recognized in the market, ranking #1 over the world. Our products serve diverse customers, not only for home appliance and garden tool, but also the car, buses, and trucks. Next page. Ever since Samsung SA made a bold transition to energy business in 2000, it has strengthened its core competencies. Samsung SA has always focused on building on its 26 years of chemistry know-how, R&D, uncompromised quality, mass production based on safety, and global operation to fulfill our goals. Samsung SDI will further upgrade its competencies by starting to cooperate to arrange lithium supply chain management with Namibia. Next page. Okay. This is a scheme of cathode material of CMSC. Cathode material is core material of lithium-ion battery. Samsung SDI surely has a possibility of great cooperation and relationship regarding value chain of battery industry by sourcing raw materials for batteries such as lithium. Is an ideal model of making value chain are simply two kinds. First is sourcing lithium as a hydroxide and carbonate. Second is sourcing lithium concentrate and supply it to Samsung SA's partner company, which has technology of converting it as a hydroxide and carbonate. Samsung SA is always open to make actual value chain of sourcing lithium, and would be great if today is start it with Namibia. Thank you.
Now, Windhoek's demand for potable water currently stands at roughly 30 million cubic meters of water per year, which translates to about 82,200 cubic meters of water per day. To put this in perspective, the capacity of the Onab Dam near Rehoboth is about 34.5 million cubic meters of water. According to the Namibian Agricultural Union's newsletter, the city of Windhoek said NamWater supplies around 75% of this potable water demand by Windhoek from surface water sources. The city said that Windhoek's water security is a perpetual concern due to its average rainfall of approximately 350 millimeters and the distant location of the nearest perennial water source some 700 kilometers away. Now, the city said it bears the responsibility of managing water supply, sewerage collection, and water treatment across Windhoek's 22 localities. The city of Windhoek provides water access to around 90% of households and handles sewerage services for about 75%. It explained that diverse sources contribute to the city's water supply. Now, getting into our next story, in an effort to enhance health and hygiene at household levels in the Eronga region, the Eronga Regional Council has revealed that it is in the process of constructing dry pit latrines as well as implementing community infrastructure development projects in the region. According to the chairperson of the Eronga Regional Council, Benita Imbaba, about 1.2 million Namibian dollars was allocated towards two projects: the Rural Sanitation Program, 961,000 Namibian dollars, and the Cash/Food for Work Program, 288,461.54 Namibian dollars during the financial year 2022 to 2024. These funds will be implemented for projects in rural areas which are our settlements and growth points during the 2023 to 2024 financial year, she said, adding that some of these projects are ongoing as from the previous financial year 2022 to 2023. Imbaba explained that under the Rural Sanitation Program, 51 dry pit latrines have been constructed in the Tatumsi informal settlement in Uis. These dry pit latrines were funded from the First National Bank's First Rand Namibia Foundation and a 5% assessment rate for a total cost of 970,000 Namibian dollars. She added that the construction of 71 dry self-ventilated improved pit latrines to the tune of 1,313,404.56 is nearing completion in the 3 rural constituencies of the region: 36 in Dauris, 21 in Karibeb, and 14 in Walvis Bay Rural. 6 contractors have been appointed and 45 community members benefited from this program through the creation of temporary jobs. In our Story of the Day segment, Inspector General Joseph Shikongo opens the Training of Trainers workshop. We get into this on the other side of the break.
Stock up and save with the best deals at WB. Get 1 liter Vita Creamy for $11.99. 2 liter Nam Milk Omaere for $44.99. 200 gram top class spice mix for $11.99. 10 kg Hotchfeld maize for $84.99. Plus 2 kg surf washing powder for just $52.99. See more WB specials online at www.vurmanbrock.com. We care.
Getting into our story of the day, Inspector General Joseph Shikongo opens the Training of Trainers workshop on freedom of expression and safety of journalists. Let's take a look.
So I'm sorry, before I go to my formal statement, I would like to echo on the statement made by Mr. Carnell from Paris, who actually acknowledged the importance of professional media relations, professional relationship between the media and the law enforcement. During his speech, he spoke of UNESCO continued support to the law enforcement, that's including Namibia, and then he also spoke of Namibia being the first country in Africa that actually has ended on signing some protocol that are regarding the freedom of speech or freedom of expression. He also narrated and they give us the information on the use of force against journalists, and indicating that over 100 journalists were killed over a period of time. So indicated that 86% are act of impunity, and 86% act of impunity against journalists. And today I'm here as Inspector General of Police to assure you that Namibian police is not, as a law enforcement, is not among the 86%. We have it on record that over the past 33 years, no journalist in Namibia has lost life because of the negligence of the law enforcement. And as the Inspector General, I'm here today to make a pledge that will continue of ensuring the safeguarding and the protection of the journalist, and also to safeguard the freedom of expression in our republic.
Now moving on to community news, the Ovaherero Traditional Authority chief, during a recent visit to South Africa, addresses victims of the genocide. We get into the story after this.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
The Ovaherero Traditional Authority chief, Mushinde Kashiwa, during a recent visit to South Africa to address victims of the genocide who had fled to that country, said the government will never be allowed to manage any financial aid that will be paid out. Let's take a look.
We know Hosea Kutako has tried a lot to reconstruct, to bring the Hereros together. He fought hard to get Namibia's independence by petitioning the United Nations. It was the apartheid government of South Africa that wanted to make sure that his work do not go anywhere. It is because of that as Wandara said, 10 years before Hosea's death, the Herero Chiefs Council had already appointed a takeover paramount chief. So when Kutako died on the 18th, a day later, the 20th of July, Clemens Kapuo was the paramount chief. Kapuo. In my leadership, we are facing a few challenges by people who are spreading misinformation because they are sponsored to do so. Because they don't want these reparations to come to anybody outside the borders of Namibia. Perhaps they are even told they will participate in those government projects. This reparation we're talking about will not be determined and managed by the government of any government, of any country.
The stock of foreign reserves rose to 54.1 billion Namibian dollars. We get into these in our economic news shortly.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
In our economic news, the stock of foreign reserves increased by 2.3% to $54.1 billion in July from $52.9 billion recorded at the end of June 2023. The reserves are sufficient to cover imports for 5.7 months, the Bank of Namibia said. The rise was on account of the Southern African Customs Union inflows, diamond sales, and customer foreign currency placements. Namibia's import bill averaged $10.5 billion during the first half of 2023. Petroleum oils topped the list of imported goods for June 2023 with a share of 10.1% of total import value. Now, the Ministry of Mines and Energy has announced an increase in fuel prices by $1 Namibian and 20 cents per liter for petrol and $1 Namibian and 70 cents per liter for diesel, effective from the 6th of September 2023. As a result, the petrol price in Walvis Bay will be $20 Namibian and 98 cents per liter, while the price of diesel 50 ppm will be $20 Namibian and 75 cents per liter, and diesel 10 ppm will be $20 Namibian and 95 cents per liter. Mines and Energy Ministry spokesperson Andreas Salmon said the ministry has recorded significant under-recoveries on petrol and diesel products. The announcement comes as the ministry had not just adjusted the country's fuel prices for the previous 2 consecutive months. Namibia is currently in talks with India regarding plans to source affordable fuel from the Asian country. According to government figures, Namibia consumes on average of 90 million liters of fuel per month. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 24.05, against the euro at 20.58, against the US dollar at 19.09. 2 Namibian dollars and 62 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, only gold and platinum went down, while copper and Brent crude oil went up. Brent crude oil trading at 0.25%, going for $89.44 per barrel. In international news, U.S. climate envoy says carbon market needed more than ever. We get into this on the other side of the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Getting into our international news, U.S. climate envoy John Kerry said early today that a carbon market was needed now more than ever as a tool to fight climate change. During a speech in Nairobi, Kerry spoke on the first day of Africa's first climate summit, where leaders are pushing market-based financing instruments such as carbon credits and debt for nature swaps in a bid to mobilize funding that they say has been slow to arrive from rich world donors. Now, several speakers at the summit said they had seen little progress towards accelerating climate financing. Africa has received only about 12% of the finance it needs to cope with climate impacts, according to a report last year by the non-profit Climate Policy Initiative. Let's take a look.
This issue today is, in fact, one of the most dangerous issues in all of human history. That's not an exaggeration in any way whatsoever. This is human created because of the way we decide to heat our homes, light our buildings, travel, because we are unwilling to enforce fundamental laws that we have adopted about deforestation, illegal logging, and other things. This is a human-created problem, but it's also subject to human resolution. Behave differently from those trillions that come from large financial institutions, where they have a fiduciary responsibility to produce a profit for. And to meet the Paris goal of keeping 1.5 degrees Celsius alive as a limit in the warming of the planet, I believe and others believe we need the carbon market more than ever. So I am really excited to see the enthusiasm that William was just talking about being shown in Africa for a carbon trading mechanism. With leadership from the African Carbon Markets Initiative, countries are positioning themselves to participate fully in a growing market, which will help to meet the climate and the development challenges at the same time to play here. And the market approach is first championed by the United States. But we think Africa can benefit and the Global South can benefit only if the carbon market grows. It's got to grow. You heard a mention of about 121 million. This market has to become a market in the billions in order to work effectively. And for that, we need to ensure the environmental integrity of this market. This is critical, not only to protect the climate, but also to create a thriving market, because people won't take the risk either of getting involved in a market that doesn't have the right standards and guidelines, credits. And we're hearing very strong interest. We are talking with countries that, so we're turning a corner. We're just not doing it fast enough or big enough. And our conviction is that the ETA provides us an opportunity with integrity to get concessionary funding that will then be used to make the transition happen faster.
In some rather devastating news, trees were downed and streets flooded in Taiwan's Gyeongsing City late Sunday evening, damaging cars and blocking roads as Typhoon Haikui made its way across the southern half of the island. Cities and counties in the affected areas closed schools and businesses, and domestic airlines canceled flights, the first typhoon in 4 years to directly hit Taiwan. State-run power company Taipower said Haikui knocked out power for more than 240,000 households, while Taiwan's fire department reported 5 injuries and 1 death during the typhoon, although it added that the casualty was yet to be confirmed as caused by the storm. As of today morning, Haikui had started to enter the Taiwan Strait and head towards China. Taiwan's Central Weather Bureau said it will continue to bring heavy rain across Taiwan into the middle of the week. Let's take a look at our weather predictions for tomorrow. Katima Mulilo can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 16 degrees and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. In Oshakati, you can expect a minimum of 16 degrees with a maximum of 35 degrees. Hendy's Bay can expect a minimum of 11 degrees with a maximum of 15 degrees, while Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 12 degrees with a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius. We'll get into your sports news shortly. Let's take a look at our sports package, courtesy of SportsRep.
Well, good evening, viewers. On today's Sunset News, brought to you by SportsRep, Namibia's hard-hitting Paulinus John Olimus retained his African International Super Middleweight title of the World Boxing Organization after beating Joseph Maigisia of Tanzania with a 4-round technical knockout in the MTC Nesta Sunshine Boxing Bonanza held at Ongwediva on Friday. Well, we have an interview for you, so please do enjoy.
No, I feel as I used to feel as a boxer. Yeah, now I just feel proud for the victory. Yeah.
Did you wish that this bout could have gone up to 12 rounds and it just ended abruptly?
No, I didn't wait to go for those rounds. It's only according to the boy itself. I can't do what I wanted to. Otherwise, I would be caught headbutt. Show up and support me.
United were crowned champions of the NRU Premier League with, as we saw, a good game that was on our hands there. We might show you footage of the last few seconds. As you can see there, Renier just celebrating after he scored a fantastic try, after he scored a fantastic penalty, having the game end really close. As you can see, the Trustco United players celebrating after a successful Premier League season. With that being said, that's all that we have for you from the sports desk. It's goodbye.
That was Brian with the sports news. Let's get into the news highlights from today's broadcast. Windhoek's demand for potable water currently stands at roughly 30 million cubic meters of water per year, which translates to about 82,200 cubic meters of water per day. In an effort to enhance health and hygiene at household levels in the Arongo region, the Arongo Regional Council has revealed that it is in the process of constructing dry pit latrines as well as implementing community infrastructure development projects in the region. The NRU Premier League finals took place this weekend, whereas Trustco United were crowned as champions. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. From me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.